Chad Patrick, Bryce Turang, Caleb Durbin. We have microphones on both sides. First question for these guys. Who wants to start? We'll start with Paul, second row on the end.
For Bryce, with a team like this, a catcher who's missed a little bit of time with a hand injury, he's coming back now. How do you guys, can you take advantage on the base pass a little bit? You going to test them, be aggressive early in the series, or just kind of be yourselves?
I think just being ourselves is a big factor of why we're here. And so, we'll talk about that in the meetings and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, we're just going to play our game that we know how to play. And, yeah.
Go to the middle of the second row here.
I guess for any one of you guys, this series inevitably is going to be billed as David versus Goliath. Do you think it's fair to be, the best team in baseball and kind of still be considered the underdog, or how do you view yourselves in the scope of this series?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of been the narrative all year long, so it's not really anything new. Since opening day, that's kind of been the idea, but I think we really just worry about ourselves, and that's why we've kind of been able to click throughout the entire year. Is just it's not really about who's on the other side; it's about us. Obviously, the Dodgers have a really good team over there, but it's no different this series.
Go to Adam in the second row.
Chad, how has your outlook on your role on this team changed in the last 24 hours? And who did you hear from after your performance last night?
I just think it's more of just a bulldog mentality. Just going out there, being able to execute pitches and get outs and get back in the dugout. But, I've heard from a lot of people I still haven't even got back to. But, yeah, just bulldog mentality for sure.
Go to Bob in the front row on the right.
Even though, a different round, more expectations, but in a way, can you play more free because there was so much pressure last round to finally end that playoff drought?
I think at the end of the day, you just got to it's like wins and losses all throughout the season. We'd all say, you just move on and you got to worry about winning tonight. I think that kind of goes into this series is you forget about what happened yesterday and you go on and try to win tonight, try to win every pitch. We got a good locker room who believes in themselves, and that's the most important thing. And so going into tomorrow's game, just worried about tomorrow's game and not thinking about yesterday or the next day, just thinking about playing the game and winning every pitch.
Stay in the front row, Jesse.
Chad, it used to be hitting 97 or 98 on the radar gun was noteworthy. Now it's like you look around your bullpen, it's triple digits everywhere. What's that like to see, whether it be Jacob or Trevor, just it's 100 from all these guys, Ashby as well?
Yeah, honestly, it caught me off guard the first time I saw it. But I just think it just goes with just, putting the work in the weight room, just doing what everyone's asked of and myself. But yeah, the average fastball is 96 now. So I think the whole year I was probably 3 to 4, and then kind of just made a transition to, just letting it eat, for 3, 4, 5 outs.
Come over to the left side, Kurt.
For Chad, when some guys go to the bullpen, we see them kind of simplify the mix, 1-2 pitches. You've been able to keep working everything in, four-seam, cutter, sinker, slider, all that stuff. Is kind of just take me through the thought process on wanting to keep the mix diverse instead of just going like cutter, cutter, cutter.
I think it's just more of, you don't want to just feed fastballs. So I've been able to add the curveball or slurve or whatever it's called, just to keep them off of the heaters. So yeah, I mean, going it, we get our little note card and just attack where the weaknesses are.
Go to Todd and then Jack, both in the third row on the right.
Chad, we talked about it a little last night after the game, but what do you think you learned about yourself this year with the up and down and kind of the struggles you went through and then getting back and getting a role on this team and pitching as well as you have been?
I think it's just more of just not riding a roller coaster and staying even keel, and whatever happens that day happens. At the end of the day, you're trying to be the best version of yourself, and that's what I'm able to do every day.
Chad, after pitching as a starter for most of the year, you pitched 4 times in one series here out of the bullpen. What's the adjustment been like for you physically, just the increased frequency of the outings here lately?
I think it's just understanding that it's all hands on deck, and just being able to be ready, taking care of the body, making sure that, we're eating the right things, we're seeing the training staff to be ready for these games. But I'm honestly ready for anything, because, like yesterday, it was just win or go home. And then this series is going to be another version of that with, I think it's 2 off 3 in a row. So just being ready and, yeah.
Could stay in that third row on the end.
Caleb, how does the relationships you guys have in the clubhouse, the tight-knit, translate to what goes on the field?
I think it's huge. I think it's been a big separator for us. Obviously, I don't know what's going on in other clubhouses, but I think it's just that chemistry that you have in the clubhouse builds that trust on the field. There's something about, especially these playoff games, you just feel like the person at the plate's going to come through, and you feel like the dude on the mound is going to get the job done. And I think that stems from the chemistry we have, in the clubhouse. We're all really great friends. So it's funny because they talk about this power of friendship, but I think to a certain extent it's a real thing, because you definitely see it in the clubhouse. It just builds that trust on the field.
Go to the far right in the second row, John.
Hey, Caleb, your shirt says built for fall. Those of us who observe would say you're also built for the Brewers. Did you, just because you're, hustle, you do all the little things, did you sense that when you were traded over here that this was a really good spot for you to develop?
Yeah, right away I looked at, I knew they had a really good season the year before, and definitely did a little bit of studying on, who my teammates were going to be, and it did look like it was a lot of guys who had a similar skill set to what I brought to the table, which was really exciting for me, because I knew I was going to learn a ton from them, and it was going to help me grow my skill set even more, especially with this coaching staff really valuing what I kind of bring to the table has only helped me get better at the things I was already good at, I think.
Sophia, first row on the far right.
For Caleb and for Chad, just how do you guys process getting this opportunity as rookies, and just how, guys like Bryce and the veteran guys can help you guys through this, and how they've picked you guys up at different times during the season?
Yeah, I think just seeing the way everyone still goes about, the day-to-day and the postseason really helps, because they're treating it the same as they did throughout the regular season. So that kind of helps you settle into the moment a little bit more. And I think when you put everything in perspective, it can get overwhelming, because it's a really cool experience that we get to have as rookies. So I think just staying in the moment, and, all the vets, tell you it's the same game. I think that kind of helps you just stay in the moment. And again, it's pitch to pitch every time we're on the field. So I think that definitely helps with that.
Yeah, I went up to Miz and before game 2, kind of knew that we both were going to get in the game, and just said, like, hey, not a lot of guys like us get this opportunity our first year in the big leagues. So just, go out there with everything you have and just attack the zone. I think just having a lot of veteran leadership on the pitching side anyways has been really helpful with Woodruff, Peralta, and Quintana. So I think that goes a long way throughout the whole season. And, I've gotten really close with those guys too. So I try to get close with hitters. It kind of segregates, I feel like. But because you got the pitchers on the one side, you got the hitters on the other side. But, yeah, I mean, this team's built for success. So
Come back to the left side, Kurt.
For Caleb, a whole group of the country of baseball fans, and actually probably the whole world, is going to get exposed to more of Murph in this series. If you could, to the best of your ability, describe what it's like to play for the person that Murph is and the character he is.
Yeah, I think that, the word that comes to my mind is just free. Like, playing for Murph allows you to be free because he wants you to be who you are. And there's a really good combination of he's holding you to a certain standard, that he's going to make you play a certain style of baseball that he thinks is the right way, but he also wants you to be yourself and play your game. And he believes in every single person individually and believes in us as a team. And I think we definitely feel that in the clubhouse when, your leader, the guy that's, at the head of the table, is the right person and believes in all of us. It takes a lot of pressure off of us, I think.
Come back to Jesse in the front.
Bryce, a lot's going to be made externally of low payroll versus high payroll, average Joes versus Hollywood and all. Do you enjoy that? Do you enjoy that kind of narrative, especially being, the lower payroll team and everything?
I don't know if I could say I enjoy it. We have a good team. It doesn't necessarily always matter. At some point, maybe, but it's the belief in each other, the belief in yourselves that is what gotten us here. It's not us looking at the payroll or making excuses for it. Like, this is what we got. This is who we are. So, I don't know. I don't look too much into it because I believe and trust in every guy in the locker room, no matter how much money they're making. And that's why we're here. We got a good group of guys, the power of friendship, as people say, and that's, like he said, it's a real thing. We got a good group of guys who believe in themselves and they go out there and do what they do best, and that's kind of all you can really ask for them. And yeah, it's been a great time. It's been really fun.
I will take two more back up in the third row, Todd and then Jack.
Bryce, I was wondering, as a really good defender like you are, you could speak to the progress that Caleb has made at third base this year.
Yeah. It's the work. Every day he's out there taking extra ground balls during batting practice. That kind of speaks for the type of player he is. He's putting the work in, and doing stuff like that helps you defensively. It's made him a better defender, and helps you maybe read the right hops or stuff like that. And so it's all the work you put in is what you get out of it. And he's done a phenomenal job. And yeah, it's fun to watch. It's fun to play with him.
Jack.
Bryce, the results hadn't necessarily been there for you early last series until that home run you hit last night. An at-bat like that, to get a breaking ball away and stay on it and go 400-plus feet to center, is that the kind of at-bat that you walk away from thinking that things feel like they're clicking again and you're in a good spot?
Yeah, I felt good. I felt good the whole series. It's just hitting a little underneath the ball. But again, it's like you just got to move on. You can't dwell on it. You got to go next at bat. You try to do that all season, especially in the postseason. I mean, you got to play all the outs. You got to go back out on defense and play all the outs. So I knew I was on it, just missing a little bit, and I wanted to be aggressive that at bat, and I got the pitch to do it on. And yeah, but I didn't feel like, it wasn't like I was like, oh man, I don't feel right. Like, no, I felt fine. I felt good. Just to click off, and then yeah.
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.